let's talk more about, understanding where some of these come from. Csilla, do you want to talk about the psychometric tool that we've developed and kind of how it can be used to bring out the best in people?
Absolutely. So let's be very clear. We can be really strong mentally, but it doesn't mean that we are the same. We actually are all very different when it comes to collaborative behaviors. Our definition of collaboration might be very similar, but the way we are approaching collaboration is, I guarantee you cannot find two exact person who would share exactly the same way. So Gardner Co developed research and methodology how to characterize a human's collaborative behaviors. And we created a 7-dimension framework. And you see on the screen a few of those labels that we like to use to describe the different elements of collaboration. But as we know, there are, for instance, highly trusting and highly wary people. Those highly trusting people will come to the collaboration table being ready to go. Hey, you are all here with me, and I trust you are here for the right reason. You have the right kind of attitude, the right kind of expertise. Let's go.
And then there's the wary people, right? There might, be some of those people who show up around the table. Imagine it's a group of individuals who haven't worked together before. You're going to have those high trust people like Csilla just described. Hey, I've just met you, and I believe in your competence, and I believe in your character and integrity. And you have other people who are kind of sitting there with their arms crossed, looking at you at the top of the, and they want the evidence, right? It's not that they distrust somebody. They don't expect somebody to fail. They don't expect somebody to be, they just don't know. And they're not willing to jump in until they have a stronger basis on which to make that judgment.
So you hear it, we both want the same thing. We want to arrive to a trusting collaborative environment, but I'm coming in that trust is already given.
Yeah.
What Heidi is saying, I'll wait and verify.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
then get there, right?
Exactly. And so think about the team where that's true. Imagine that there's a group of, a half dozen new people who are going to work together. All but one of them are highly trusting. So they're jumping in there and they're ready to go. And okay, let's figure out how we're going to make this work. Da, da, da. The trusting person is like, these people are so naive, or on the converse side, you have the trusting people. Why is she sitting over there with her arms crossed? Like, what's wrong with her? And that person who's the outlier starts to get pushed further and further outside the group, right? And their insights aren't as valued. It's only human nature. The word for this, if you want to know a geeky term, impress your friends with, psycho jargon, homophily, right? Homophily is the word that is used to describe the natural human tendency where we tend to affiliate with people. We like them, we believe in them if they're more similar to us, if they're part of our in-group. And so imagine in that 6-person group, you've got 5 people who are behaving quite similarly. Without even knowing it, they're going to send some pretty strong signals to that wary person that she is kind of not actually that welcome, which guess what? It then just reinforces her perception that those aren't people that she should be working with, right? On the opposite side, if those people have gone through an exercise where, it's been put in sort of black and white in front of them after doing a really quick self-assessment, they get the report and it says, hey, you're really highly trusting. Here's how you can use that as a strength. In the beginning of a new group, you're going to be the one who really is keen to get started, da, da, da. And by the way, people who are on the opposite side of that scale are equally valuable because they behave differently, right? So the wary person in that group might be the one to kind of, if her comments are welcome, raise her hand and say, hey, wait a minute, let's slow down here for a minute. Should we take a step back and double check is each person here capable of this kind of thing to the same extent that you assumed, I didn't, that person is easy to do, right? And with that kind of querying, if it's welcomed, somebody might actually say, hey, wait a minute, you're right. We did jump over that really important step of checking in with people. Do they have the capacity? Do they have that capability? Do they have the experience to the level we'd expect? Are we going to overwhelm them if we ask them to take this on themselves, right? So a wary individual in that group is going to add a tremendous amount of value by slowing things down and asking those questions. And the only way they can play that important role is for the rest of the team to welcome their differences.
So here's the strange thing. Collaboration actually starts you being alone and thinking about who you are as a collaborator.
That's true. Yeah, that's right.
That's the first step. And then once you know what is your natural tendency, then you can come together more effectively because you have the full appreciation what the others are coming with. And then you are more open to manage that and get away from the homophily.
Yeah, exactly. Homophily is not inevitable, right? Or maybe it is, that's the natural tendency, but it's not the kind of reaction that we can't overcome. In other words, if you are aware of it, you're much more likely to be able to reach out and say, especially under pressure, we're even more likely to birds of a feather flock together, as they say. If you're aware that that's likely to happen, you can call yourself out on it and say, hey, wait a minute, I think I've just experienced a time when for no good reason, I've believed in this person more than that one because they're more similar to me. How could I improve if I open myself up to debate and challenge?
And here we are not suggesting that you should be anything else than you are naturally are.
Yeah.
What we are suggesting that recognition of difference is the deal maker.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely.